do that. Hi YouTube. So we're back with another video today. I did take the liberty of pre-cutting part of it. Sorry, wasn't sure that was showing up because I couldn't see my screen. So we're retrying our failed project from a couple weeks ago. If you didn't see that, it should be the next video under this. It's not a live stream. Took last week off just because I was in a rough couple weeks at work. I'll just leave it at that. So that said, I've already pre-cut the pieces, showing you guys how all that works plenty of times before. Other than our half lap joints, because I totally did it wrong on that video. Can't win them all. Totally did it wrong. So I wanted to go over that, and then so I'll cut one, time lapse the rest, and then we'll probably be back tomorrow to do the last couple drills and final assembly, because it is 5:26 and I got to be getting ready for work in 34 minutes. So that said, we're gonna get right to it. When I say right to it, oh look, there's the table saw. It's not that easy though. I gotta flip a few things around. But back in a minute. And we're back. So we're gonna start off, drop everything with this board. Started off as 3/4. I didn't want this to be 2 inches thick, so ran it through the planer to get it shorter. Now we're gonna set up our half lap joints. So I usually like to take my blade down below half, because the way it's popping right there, sometimes as it runs it will settle down and then my height will actually get thrown off a bit. So right there is about halfway up. And then we need the thickness of one of these little stringers, because I want to cut in half the thickness. So we just pop that on the blade, bring the fence over. I want it tight, but I still want to be able to push this through without that blade spinning. You do it enough times and you can do it just by how much tension you put on that by feel. If you can't tell. Now we go to the miter gauge. Again, you don't need a fancy one like this. I have it, I love it. Definitely worth the investment, but it can be a bit overkill at times for some things. And I can't find my regular one, because for these smaller ones like this. All right, so I'm going to remember to cut that out. My alarm for get ready for work just went off. Actually, it's get up, 6 o'clock to be get ready. I can be dressed and out of here in about 10 minutes. It's letting the dog out takes more time. So with that, we should be good with one of these. So we are going to run this through. I'm actually going to see if I can get you guys behind here so you can actually see the piece getting cut, because that's where I think it's more fun to watch. So I got 2 ideas we're going to try. If the first one works, then we don't need the other. I don't want to use the other one if I don't have to. So I'm going to set that shot up. Right back. All right, based on what I'm seeing, I do believe that'll work. So just for reference, this is our blade. That's our piece of wood. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't want to focus, but there we go. All right. Sorry, trying to figure out new settings on my phone on the fly. Before I do this, I'm taking one piece off of here because I don't need it, and at this point it's just getting in the way. Now, when we're done, you'll see the notch I'm taking off of this. And yeah, when I pop it into the time lapse, all I'm doing is this. What is it? 7 more times, because we're going to do this one live. And that is how you cut half laps from a much better angle. None of this is right, which it's not. It shouldn't hang over. It shouldn't hang over that much. So it looks like it's about a 1/16. Actually, at this point, I'm committed, so I'll sand these. I'll sand the rough edge off. So we're going to go into a time lapse and. While it's here, or while I'm here and looking at it, here's my camera lens. That gap right there is why I had to redo these. I don't like those gaps at all, so I had to adjust the height on the saw. All right. Now for the assembly. I will say I messed up on the ones we cut earlier, so I actually just finished recutting these, left them a little thicker, which means this overall it's going to be taller than I wanted originally, but I'd rather have it work than be the size I was thinking initially. So if we did everything right, everything should be nice and flush, which we'll check here real quick with the dry fit. And then we will slap some glue on it and get her good. Still a little off on some of these joints, which I thought I was good, but I'd much rather sand off a 1/16 of an inch than the 1/4 or more we were gonna have to do originally. So, move this over here a little bit. Got a bunch of clamps in my way. I'm also doing this on my knees, so you'll have to forgive me if I get a couple of weird angles. We're gonna do 2 of these. I'm just gonna do this one on video. I'll do the other one off camera. Dot of glue there. Dot of glue there. That. Pop that in. That's way too much. So we'll just do that. And remember, this is just my prototype. Put a bead on the bottom. Alright. Put all that together. Pop that on. Stick that down. Dot of glue there. I think I need to replace my tip. I cut too much off and now it's squirting way too much out too fast. It's hard to control. Alright. Alright. Now I need the trusty nail gun. And we will pop a nail here. I want 2 in each corner. Confirm everything's tight. You put 2 in the corners so it can't walk on you while the glue sets. Pull everything tight, and the last one shouldn't take too much extra force. And I always angle them in just a hair when I'm doing this, because what that'll do is actually set it nice, and make sure you don't blow through the back. And at this point, all these are going to do is keep this piece of wood's warping a little bit, which will happen with it. It's just a way of keeping it flat. These are called pin nails, so they're really small. Once you sand over them, and there's a couple other ways you can help hide the actual head of the pin. Once you do that, they're almost invisible. So, yep. No blow throughs, nothing there, no issues. Other than a little bit of wood glue in the edge, which we'll take a paper towel and just wipe that down real quick. Fit into that seam, that seam. Put it right over there. And that's half of our little box. So like I said, I'm going to do the other half off camera so I can get it knocked out quick. And then we will go on to drilling in the hinges. And we're back. So I was thinking a lot about how we're gonna get those lips off the edges. I had this whole elaborate plan of, oh, we'll just sand it. And I remembered I got a flush cut around a bit right here. Pretty sure I've got everything lined up right. Might need to come off a hair, but we'll do that in a minute. All I'll do is run this along the edge once I set the height rate. All 4 sides, runs fairly quick. Doing it off camera because my tripod broke. So yeah, get this knocked out and then I'll see you guys in the basement. All right, and we're back where I can actually have my hands free. So for the last part, we need to add some concealed hinges. So in order to do that, I need to grab a couple concealed hinges. Actually with these I only need the 2. And then a couple of these, which are tiny neodymium magnets, I believe is how it's pronounced, and I'm sure I'm going to get hassled for my pronunciation because I don't think that's right. Excuse me while I ditch an earbud because I can't hear myself over that. So we are going to pop these apart, butt them up next to each other, and set these hinges about where I want them. I'm going to do this and try to not knock over the little bit of cutting board wood I have left behind me. Since it is winter time, I've been doing all my glue ups inside because of the temperature out there. All right. So for this one, we're gonna go here. And then this guy, I'm actually gonna bump it up here because I want the center of the holes about right there. If I get a lot of requests for these, I'm actually going to make a jig for my drill press, so that way I can just drill it out that way, and then use that, and everything will be pre-measured. All I got to do is clamp the jig down and then drill it out. But for right now, that's not an option. So I'm just gonna try to hit this as close to the middle as I can. Move the edge of my bit around. That looks pretty close. Ordinarily, I would tell you to pre-mark your drill or put a line on your drill bit so you know how deep to go. But I don't have a marker down here, and I want to go to bed because I got to work tonight. So I'm just gonna do it this way. Heat it out a little bit at a time. And yes, these are some of the best hidden hinges I've been able to find. Open that back up. Yep, that'll work. Flip this around this way. And do the same again here. Now that I have a little bit of a better feel, I'm willing to go a little more aggressive. Something's holding me up. It'll hang over on the edge. That's about halfway in. A little bit more. That should be good right there. Yep. And no, I don't want it to go that way. All I'm doing is, I did it. Cutting board wood down. Come on, get out of there. Thank you, come on. Alright. So, we'll press that one in. Put that one in. one might not open up quite right, but it'll still be a good proof of concept for me. So I'm just gonna roll with it. Because it doesn't need to open up, really they don't need to open flat. Actually, this one, I believe, would matter even less if I go too deep on one side. Don't want to lose my magnets. Open these up. It's a little misaligned, but like I said, for a proof of concept, it'll work. And then I just won't sell this one, which means I hang on to it. Yeah, definitely need to remake the inside. And I'm definitely glad I got the other drill bit to hide some magnets in here. Because hopefully that'll be enough to keep it from flying open randomly. Actually, let's get two of these guys. And yeah, so next few days I will be, one second. Just scared my dog. That doesn't work. Well, I got 2 marks, so I can do one of them. But yeah, so next couple days I'll be getting a jig made for my band or my saw in there, so I can get these to line up right, so when I start doing production I can just clamp that on and go to town. Those hinges didn't come with any type of mounting instructions, so you're just supposed to figure it out. Which, I mean, part of me gets, and another part of me is like, come on, don't make me guess. But, and did they tell me the right? No, of course they didn't tell me the right size on these. Okay, well, I gotta get a different drill bit to drill those out. But hey. Still call it a win, since this is, again, a secondary mock-up, and it's usable. So at the end of the day, I'll find a pen that fits in there. I got the little notepads that go in there. I don't know how much of that was even recorded. Well, but yep. Then I can also throw on either side, if you want it, a clipboard clip. And yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab one of them. Yep, so once it's done, you'll be able to keep small pen, pad of paper, 3x5 index cards with a pen. You could actually grab 2 of these little guys. And then, like I said, I'll have the optional clipboard clip there, and I can put it on either side. And if you do want to make these on your own and don't want to deal with the issues of the hidden hinges like I'm trying, get little hinges and put them on the sides, and that actually would work a whole lot better for you. Just pop them right about there and there on the outside. They'd be exposed, but if you don't care, it don't matter. And I might actually pick some of those up to put on a couple more of these. I am planning on getting some more wood to make more of these the day after this releases, because I'm actually finishing this up on Thursday. It'll go up on Friday. And then, yeah, so if you guys are interested. Oh, and I will be getting the appropriate drill bits for those magnets to open those up and put 2 more in there. I mean, they're not huge, but they've actually got a lot of power to them for the size they are. So, yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for this one. I will see y'all later. Cat in the Hat and Nappy Dat.